Former Florissant police officer just pleaded guilty to illegally searching the phones of 20 women looking for nude photos.
It is a story First Alert 4 broke last year. Today, Julian Alcala pleaded guilty in federal court to 20 counts of deprivation of rights. Each carries a penalty of up to a year in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Alcala pulled over women last year while on duty, took their phones, saying it was needed to confirm insurance or registration, and then searched the phones for nude photos. Alcala's sentencing is now scheduled for March 11th.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. 100K, a day with another video with 100K Paralegal Services. Today, we're going to be talking about this creep, this disgraced cop, Julian Alcala, who just pled guilty to 20 counts involving the deprivation of rights of women who he stopped in a police car, stopped in uniform, and searched their cell phones. And the only thing he wanted was nude pictures of them, videos of them, catch them in compromised situations. Now, I got a big problem with how this case just played out. Number one, let's just get to the nitty-gritty of it. He wouldn't hire, of course, the legendary Scott Rosenblum for his defense. And Scott Rosenblum, as everybody knows, is one of the most popular attorneys in St. Louis. He has good relationships. He's known for getting people good deals and beating a lot of murder cases in the St. Louis area. You know, Nelly uses him. A lot of other people use him. Celebrities use him. People who have money use this guy. So, you know, he definitely hired some of the best reputation that money can buy for the St. Louis metropolitan area. The issue I have with this case is the fact that he was allowed to plead guilty to a bunch of misdemeanors. That's right. Counts 2 through 21 of his indictment are all misdemeanors. And this is a bad cop. This is a guy who was entrusted, you know, under the Constitution to protect and serve the community. And he was, Lord knows what else he did that was corrupt. He really dishonored his badge. So for him to be pulling people over and doing the things that he did, it was absolutely crazy. When you look at the facts, right? Let's just take a look at his plea agreement. This here is his plea agreement in the federal case. So, like I said, he was allowed to plead guilty to 20 misdemeanors. Now, a misdemeanor in federal court only carries a sentence for each individual charge of up to a year on each count. The problem that he has is, you know, the government has, you know, said that they're going to recommend a sentence no higher than 36 months. So all those misdemeanors, of course, will have to run. A few of them have to run consecutive to one another in order to achieve a 36-month sentence. So he can easily get 17 counts running concurrently for a year, and, you know, 3 of those other counts would run consecutive to one another. So he can easily end up with a sentence of a year on 17 counts, and the other few counts, there'll be consecutive sentences to get that 36 months. The problem that he's going to have is he is being sentenced by Judge Henry Audrey, a black judge out of St. Louis who was appointed by George W. Bush, that is. And he's no nonsense. Henry Audrey in the St. Louis area, just because he's the black judge, federal judge, doesn't make him a person that people are just going to say, well, he's going to go easy on, he's soft on crime, soft on these type of cases. He's definitely not soft. I don't even think he's going to end up with a 36-month sentence. I think Henry Audrey, on March the 11th or whatever his sentencing date is, he's going to give this disgusting cop at least 5 years. I don't think he's going to go with the recommendation. He may, but I doubt he will. You know, this is a serious breach of trust. When you read the plea agreement in this thing, you know, it outlined a lot of his actions. It speaks about how on February 6th and May 18th, all these incidents occurred. He was employed as a police officer, Florissant Police Department. So during the time frame, the defendant had contact with 20 women, and while on duty in uniform in a marked police vehicle, he was acting under the color of law. So it says on February 6th, the defendant pulled confidential victim 1 over during a traffic stop the defendant took her cell phone back to his vehicle under the pretending to be confirming her insurance coverage. While the defendant had her phone, the defendant texted a video of her engaged in sexual activity to his personal cellular phone and used his personal cellular phone to take a photograph of an image of confidential warrant, which depicted her in a state of nudity. The video and image were stored in her cellular phone. So we read the plea agreement. It continues to go on and on and on about the different victims. February 11th, February 11th, February 11th. This was just like a non-stop thing. The problem that I have with this is these were all like basically this. I feel like they should be sex offenses. This shouldn't be a situation where a person gets away with misdemeanors. You know, when you're stealing the confidential videos and pictures of women and things like that, I feel like you should not be able to get away with misdemeanor. You should definitely face much more serious charges. Not be able to plead guilty to misdemeanors that only carry up to a year. And you're not even a convicted felon after all this. Yeah, he can get 36 months. That's only because the misdemeanor, some of the counts, could be ran consecutively for, whatever sentence he gets on each one. But this man, you don't know how far he's willing to go with his creep activity. Why would you want to see innocent women who are unsuspecting of what you're doing in this type of position unless there's something seriously wrong with you? And for him to be able to get off with misdemeanor convictions, I think is really a slap in the face to the victim. So this is how it unfolded. It said, following a traffic stop by the defendant of confidential warrant, she discovered in her deleted text messages that the video reference above had been texted to a phone number that was unknown to her. The text was then deleted from her messages. After reporting this to the FBI, the investigation revealed that the unknown phone number belonged to the defendant who had pulled her over and had possession of her phone during the time the text message was sent. Subsequent investigation by the FBI included the execution of lawful search warrants for the defendant's iCloud and iPhone. Forensic analysis of the iCloud and the iPhone extraction led to discovery of 19 additional victims and showed that the defendant had utilized his personal cell phone to take at least one photograph from the cellular phones of each of the 20 confidential victims. The images photographed by the defendant contained individual females in a state of nudity. These images were stored in various places on the victims' phones, including the camera roll, within text messages with loved ones, and in folders within applications of their phones, including Snapchat. The defendant conducted an unreasonable search and seizure of the 20 victims' phones, in that none of them gave the defendant permission to search through their cellular phones, and none of them gave him permission to take photographs of their intimate images or to forward a video to himself. Therefore, the defendant acted with bad purpose or improper motive to disobey or disregard the law. So, this is where they talk about the statutory penalties. The defendant fully understands the maximum possible penalty provided by law for each crime for which the defendant is pleading guilty is imprisonment of not more than a year, a fine of not more than $100,000, or both such imprisonment and fine. The court may impose a period of supervised release of not more than a year. So this guy's literally getting away with misdemeanor convictions, and he's not going to get more than a year of probation because all counts of conviction, regardless of how many counts he has, the supervised release terms all will run concurrently. So I really do have a problem with this plea agreement. It being a year, maximum, statutory maximum that he did not, that he's subjected to. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, this is just one element of what he's facing right now. For his conduct, he's also facing, multiple lawsuits. The police department in the city that he worked for, Florissant, is facing multiple lawsuits, class action lawsuits from the victims. He made the department look bad. And he just gave more credulence to a lot of people's assertion, a lot of people's position that cops are bad. Cops are bad. So, you know, that's what he's going to be encountering. That's what he's going to be encountering, you know, and I feel like it's wrong for him to get away with misdemeanor convictions for all of this. For 20 victims, he don't got to register as a sex offender. He don't got to do nothing. He was able to violate these women's rights. This wasn't just a search and seizure case where he went and searched some people's stuff and didn't do what he was, and just was searching a person's phone when he wasn't supposed to be searching it. He was doing it for a sexual purpose. To me, this is just one step away from violating a woman by breaking into her house and doing something sexual to her. That's how I look at it. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. I think he should get a lot more time. He's a creep. You know, he definitely should not have been a cop to begin with. That's why I say the only way to help with all of this is make sure cops, every police officer, if you want to be certified police officer, you need to get, number one, a quarterly polygraph exam and a quarterly mental exam. And in that polygraph, they need to make sure that if you fail the polygraph, okay, give them another chance to pass it. If you fail a polygraph, you're automatically dismissed from the department and you lose your law enforcement credentials. That is the only way that we can handle these bad cops. You know, St. Louis is a nice town, but it's very, very bad. It's known for a lot of incidents with police. It's known for a lot of racism. It's known for a lot of negative things. And this cop just made it worse. Across the country, a lot of cops have been engaged in a lot of criminal activity. The only way we can clean this up is by making them subjected to polygraph tests quarterly, mental health examinations quarterly. Bottom line. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. This is Mr. 100K a day. Till next time. Peace.